This is the kind of world it is, the kind of world that gives you a blackberry plant, a doughy memory, and a child that can't keep nothing down. I kneel by the side of the road, grab the thorny stems as close to the earth as I can get them, and pull. And the vine pricks my hand, tears at the skin, draws blood in tiny points that smear. My palms burn. This is the kind of world Mama told me when I got my period when I was 12, that makes fools of the living and saints of them once they did, and devils them throughout. Even though the words were harsh, I saw hope in her face when she said it. She thought if she taught me as much herbal healing as she could, if she gave me a map to the world as she knew it, a world plotted orderly by divine order, spirit in everything, I could navigate it. But I resented her when I was young, resented her for the lessons and the misplaced hope, and later for still believing in good in a world that cursed her with cancer, that twisted her limp as a wet rag and left her to disintegrate. Sing, Unburied, Sing, page 105. Okay, this book begins with life on the farm with Pops, and we can see that Pops is really a stability for Jojo and Kayla living with their very, very unstable mother. Now, after that, we go to this road trip that Leonie, the mother, insists on taking her son and daughter to go and recuperate her husband from prison. Now, this is sort of like you can see it's a trip that's, you know, it's going to go wrong right when she suggests it. Pops doesn't want her to take the kids, but she insists on taking the kids. And this trip to the prison is a way for Jesmyn Ward to vehicle quite a lot of aspects about the relationships within this family. So first of all, we see Leonie's lack of you know, capability of being a decent mother. Even more profound than that, it's her lack of being able to really care. It's a little disturbing to read. We also see her relationship with her mother through some, you know, things that she thinks about that triggers thoughts of her mother. We see that there is a strained relationship because of the differences in personalities and just the way that Leonie is. And you see that Jojo and Kayla are closer than ever, like even closer than most siblings. He takes care of his sister as if she's practically his own. And it's just amazing to read about. From there, the story develops, and Jesmyn Ward reminds the reader of some of the difficulties and atrocities of living in the South. And these aspects are extremely vivid and brutally described. So if you're squeamish or don't like that kind of thing, then you are going to have trouble reading through some of those aspects of the book. I would have to say the book is beautifully written, even in its most intense parts, but it is historically correct. It will drive you to all the emotions you can imagine: sadness and anger and disgust and shock, and just everything will come out when you're reading the book. Yeah, there was some parts where I just wanted to take my hand in and rip out Leonie and give her a couple across the face, because she really tried my patience. I think, yeah, it's a book that you should pick up and read. This is my first fiction novel of Jesmyn Ward. I'd only read Before the Fire This Time, which is completely different because it is a compilation of essays by some of the top young African-American writers of today, talking about what it is to be black in America, whereas this is a fiction novel. Now, the thing that I didn't like about this book were its magical realism elements. There are ghosts in this book. There's a lot of talking with ghosts and stuff like that, and I don't get into that. I'm sorry. That's the only thing that didn't allow me to give this book 4 stars. I don't like magical realism elements when they're too strongly written into a story. So I had lots of difficulty with this one for that reason. And another thing I had problems with was the ending. I was expecting something a little bit more interesting, or maybe a bit more dramatic. Than it was a bit flat, the ending of this book. But be that as it may, I still gave it 3 stars, which is closer to a 3.5 stars. So I do recommend it. It's just not the book. It's just that this book didn't make me, it didn't wow me. But I did love her style of writing. I find that she's an excellent writer because she's capable of telling you quite a lot of things in very few sentences. As you can see, the book is not that long. It was only 285 pages. So she gives you a lot of history of the South, of racism, you know, prison life, the difficulty of living on a farm, the whole thing. She sums all of that up very well through this family in 285 pages. So I recommend it. Definitely pick it up. And I will surely be picking up, I think I have Salvage the Bones, and that's probably the next Jesmyn Ward I'll pick up eventually, hopefully before the end of this year. That's all I have for you today. I'll be back very soon with another video review of Reservoir 13. Bye for now. Ciao.